Hello everyone, how are you today? Welcome to our educational vlog. My name is Javan Dallas Nandes Fatayla with last ID number 253 and my friend Zikri Maula Salau with last ID number 259 from Faculty of Law, Universitas Negeri Semarang in Regional Autonomy Law course taught by Mr. Dani Muhtada.
We will discuss the case of controlling alcoholic beverage, commonly referred as a miras, in Manokwari, West Papua. Why is this topic important and how can we use the principle of regional autonomy to find solution? Without further ado, let's begin.
But first, let's take a look at Manokwari, the capital city of West Papua. This regency is located on the northern coast of the island of New Guinea, facing directly to Doreh Bay. The geography here is very diverse, without mountainous terrain and coastal shore, making its society quite dynamic. In recent years, Manokwari has grown into a center of government and economic in West Papua. There is a lot of trade, transportation, and tourism activity in here. However, alongside that, there is a worrying social issue: the distribution and consumption of miras among Manokwari's population, both young and old, or rich and poor. Quote from Antara News on March 17, 2025, the region of Manokwari, Hermus Indo, state that a regional regulation or Perda on controlling miras would be a priority within his first 100 days in office. In other words, from the beginning of his term, he and Vice Regent Mugiono immediately worked to revise the old Perda that was no longer functioning optimally. It was further mentioned that until now, Perda Nomor 5 Tahun 2006 concerning the prohibition of alcoholic beverage in Manokwari had already been revoked, but there is still debate over whether it was truly revoked, and in practice, it has not been enforced. Therefore, he wants to draft a new regional regulation or Ranperda that is more effective. In short, we have three main issues. First, confusion about the legal status of the old Perda. Has it been revoked or not? Second, weak implementation. The Perda exists, but enforcement in the field is minimal. Sanctions are not imposed. Permits for selling miras are mostly illegal. Third, social impact. High rates of violence, crime, and more decline due to miras consumption. Okay, now let's dig up into more detailed background. I will explain the chronology, likely the reason for the repeal of Perda Nomor 5 Tahun 2006 and why Hermus Indo and Mugiono want to revise the regulation on miras.
Perda Nomor 5 2006 was originally enacted by the Manokwari Regency government as an effort to prohibit the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverage. The objective were maintaining public order, protecting public health and morality, and preventing crime and violence arising from intoxication. In 2023, a request emerged from the Papua Barat Institute for Human Rights Oversight and Development, or LP3BH, urging the region and regional base of representative DPRD to immediately repeal the mirror ban Perda. They argued that it was not aligned with the community's needs and actually promote illicit miras circulation for years. Perda was considered to destroy the livelihood of communities that had been legally selling traditional arak. The small-scale arak industry was a source of family income. Its implementation was inconsistent because many field officers accept under-the-table money, making the Perda ineffective in curbing miras distribution. It had the opposite effect because it was banned. Some communities switched the production of oplosan without permits, which were more dangerous due to uncontrolled alcohol and chemical content. As a result, Perda Nomor 5 2006 was officially repealed, but news of its repeal was not well published. Some participants continued to enforce the Perda, while others were already freely selling miras. This sparked legal confusion and enforcement disparities across various districts.
During the campaign and inauguration, Regent Manokwari Hermus Indaw and his vice Regent Mugiono promised that improving the mirroring ban Perda would be one of the priorities in their first 100 days in office. Their objectives were, first, to clarify the legal status transparently whether the old Perda was revoked, amendment, or considered not in effect. Second, to draft a new Perda in accordance with the principle of regional autonomy, taking into account local custom, religion, and economic needs. And third, to adopt best practice from other regions so that the miras problem could be addressed without destroying people's livelihoods. They formed a small team that involved customary leaders, religious leaders, Satpol PP officer, the health department, and academic, similar to the approach used in Manokwari for other Perdas. Even some church figures and NGOs were given room to provide input, since they frequently witnesses the negative impact of miras in the field.
Now, we reach the most interesting section, a solution-based comparative study with Nusa Tenggara Timur.
Why did we choose Nusa Tenggara Timur? Because their regulation is considered a best practice example in accommodating local culture, especially the production of traditional arak while preventing abuse. Nusa Tenggara Timur also has a long traditional production of arak, which is a part of the community custom and economy. If it were totally banned, many citizens would lose their livelihoods. However, the arak that circulates in the market often has an uncontrollable alcohol content, which can lead to poison. As a result, the Nusa Tenggara Timur Provincial Government draft Peraturan Gubernur Nusa Tenggara Timur Nomor 44 Tahun 2019 concerning the supervision, guidance, and development of alcoholic beverage. In essence, they did not ban it completely, but instead regulated it.
Key point of Governor Regulation Number 44 Tahun 2019, Pasal 8 said that any community member who want to sell arak must first sell it to licensed distiller so that it can be purified and have its alcohol content taste according to K3L aspek, namely keamanan, kesehatan, keselamatan, and lingkungan. Pasal 9 ayat 4 said that traditional alcohol beverages are only permitted to be sold for customary event, religious rituals, or as souvenir or craft. Sales in general shop or supermarket are prohibited except when there is a special permit for a customary event. And identity verification of buyer must be 21 years old and must show their ID card. The seller must note the buyer's identity on a control sheet. If a seller violates the rules, selling without an official label, without a permit, or to minors, they will face heavy fines and permit revocation. For illegal distillers, they can even be prosecuted under law related to food safety and the distribution of illegal goods.
Why the Nusa Tenggara Timur model can be used as a reference? Well, there are three main reasons of this. First is respecting local culture. Instead of imposing a total ban, Nusa Tenggara Timur actually strengthened customary institutions, so the community feels that their culture is respected. As a result, they are willing to cooperate in monitoring. This reference for West Papua, traditional drink like swansrai, sagu, or bobo are not only community but also part of customary practice. If properly regulated, small producers will not feel threatened. Second is preventing illicit and oplosan distribution. With certification and alcohol content testing, oplosan arak is almost impossible to slip through. When quality is maintained, consumers will not suffer from poison. In Manokwari, several cases of oplosan miras have been reported to cause mass poisoning. The Nusa Tenggara Timur model can minimize that. Third is structured and integrated oversight. Nusa Tenggara Timur involved the Industry and Trade Office, Dinas Perindak, Health Office, Dinas Kesehatan, and Customary Council. Each has a clear role. First, the Industry and the Trade Office issue permit to distiller. Second, the Health Office routinely tests arak sample. Third, the Customary Council verify the authentic of tradition and production quantity. Manokwari can adopt a similar structure by involving the Customary Deliberation Body, church, and local NGOs in the oversight teams.
So guys, that was our vlog about the application of regional autonomy law in controlling alcoholic beverage in Manokwari. And I hope this vlog can helpful, especially from your friend to take the regional autonomy law course. Thank you for watching and see you in the next vlog.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.